What do you think about Sabrina Carpenter and her latest album?
Who cares?
Okay, fair enough. Okay, what about Oasis?
No, I mean, I'll go a little bit deeper.
Go a little deeper, Bob.
She's a known name. She was on the Disney Channel. She opened for Taylor Swift. This whole horse shit about the song of the summer, not to mention the fact we don't even listen to all the same songs.
I'm going to name a couple modern acts that you write about pretty frequently. I'd love to know what you think they're doing right or what you think they're doing wrong, or just anything else that comes to mind when I say their names. Okay, you write about Zach Bryan. What should the big takeaways be with Zach Bryan?
Well, Zach Bryan has stepped in a little bit recently with a couple of tweets and the breakup of the girlfriend, but before that, it was all positive. He is selling authenticity and credibility. You have to go before he worked with, was it Casey Musgraves and had a hit. The songs were songs that you could sing to and relate to. They were not about production. Word spread amongst the active consumer, the late teens and the early 20-somethings, such that, they invited me to the gig. This is at the Wiltern. Now he plays stadiums. Everybody knew every song. In addition, he also can say no to things. He named an album where he's sticking up to Ticketmaster. I won't say he's 100% accurate, but the fact that he was willing to make that statement makes him successful and powerful.
Okay, what do you think about Sabrina Carpenter and her latest album?
Who cares?
Okay, fair enough. Okay, what about Oasis?
No, I mean, I'll go a little bit deeper.
Go a little deeper, Bob.
She's a known name. She was on the Disney Channel. She worked with the hit maker du jour, Dan Negro, I believe his name is. She opened for Taylor Swift. They concocted a song. This whole horse shit about the song of the summer, not to mention the fact we don't even listen to all the same songs. She had a hit. And in today's world, what people don't understand is today there's 100 million more people than there were in America in the 70s. There's, an audience for everything. So she went on the road. Talk to me 10 years from now whether she can sell out these. It's not changing anybody's life. That's what I'm into.
Okay. And what about Oasis and the reunion?
What people in America don't understand is what Oasis represents in the UK. Working class people who are the antithesis of those in control. There's a whole cultural element to Oasis that people in America just do not understand. Okay. That's why it's such a big deal in the UK. The fact that the stadium dates went clean in America, I would not have predicted that. They obviously sold from Mania, and this also happened in the UK. People didn't want to be left out. I happened to be in the UK, and somebody's waiting on us. They find out I'm in the music business. Can you get me tickets to Oasis? Are you a big Oasis fan? No, but I want to go. Okay. I saw Oasis at the Whiskey. They already had an album out in the UK. The album after that had just been released. I saw them open for the Black Rose at the Greek. Not to mention, I've seen both brothers individually. I like Champagne Supernova. The fact that it's such a big deal in America is surprising to me. As far as the ticketing, what people don't know is it's a very fluid business. These acts go on the road every other year. In the case of Oasis, not in excess of a decade. And a lot of times the manager, usually it's the lawyer and people in the business who are working every day who understand the concept. These two fucking Gallagher brothers. Okay, let me give you some insight. In the UK, the whole issue of scalpers and paying more, that doesn't exist. So therefore, that's to a great degree why the dynamic pricing was such a big thing. In America, it is well known by everybody in the business. If you don't flex the price, the scalpers are going to get the tickets. Okay? Look at some famous things. We have, suddenly I can't remember his name. It'll come back to me. The biggest guy in country music Garth Brooks.
Or Garth Brooks, yeah.
Garth Brooks goes on tour, charges a low price, plays until demand expires. There's no scalping because as long as people want to go, he's playing. There's no scalping for Stones tickets. They charge what they're worth, and the act gets all the money. I got a personal bug up my ass about this for numerous reasons. One, you're saying Springsteen is charging more than $100. Okay, this was the big kerfuffle a couple of years ago. Okay, this is a baby boomer, maybe Gen X audience. You're going for dinner either the night before or the night of the gig. Each person is in excess of $100, but you won't pay $100 for Bruce. And then also, you think because you listen to the records a lot, you're entitled to sit down close for cheap. What fucking world are you living in? You don't go to the Mercedes-Benz dealer and say, I love to drive. Sell me the car for 15K.
Okay, Bob, we're running out of time here. I want to ask you a couple little other questions. First of all, New York Times are now putting their podcasts behind a paywall. Their most recent episodes they're going to give for free or keep free, but the rest of the podcasts are going to be behind a paywall. Is that a crazy idea, or does that make sense?
You got a lot of things going on here. Let's go back. I used to charge for my newsletter. I make a lot more money giving it away for free. My reach is this. This is me personally. The New York Times is running a business. And they had this guy, Mark Thompson, an Englishman, who came up with this concept of subscribers. Now, they have a soft paywall that you can read. I think at the last, it's either 8 or 10 articles a month for free. I'm not exactly sure because I've been subscriber forever. And so the casual user can participate, just like with some of these podcasts. But for years, the New York Times was free online. But then when print advertising went down, they had to make the money somehow. The New York Times can get away with this. They have 10 million subscribers, not all to print. There's cooking, there's games. Can other people? I mean, it cracks me up when you have these local newspapers behind paywall. I can't read the story. As I say, it comes down to economics in every situation. I do not think that's a bad idea for the Times, no.
Okay,
But
fair enough.
let's stay there. Let's
stay
stay
here.
there. Because Joe Rogan was exclusive to Spotify, and Spotify changed that and say you can be on all the services. So generally speaking, distribution is king and you want to be available everywhere. But every situation is not identical.
Wait, so is it not a bad idea for the Times because they have the audience, and on top of that, they also need to make money, and this is a path to money. That's why it's an okay idea.
Well, the kind of, a lot of podcasts like we're doing here, they don't cost that much. They do a lot that have high priced. Advertising is not that big. So how do they pay for it? Okay. Other people just keep slashing what they have. Well, we won't have podcasts at all. So is it a choice? If it's a choice between having a podcast division or not having one, sure, put it behind a paywall.